Hey guys, this is Hellheides. This is a Raid Shadow Legends video. Guys, I want to do a video just updating you on some of the best tools in the game, how you use them, where you find them, how you get involved. Some of them are actually developed by my team. Some of them we've got absolutely no affiliation with other than we love these tools. And this is a genuine reflection of how my screen will look if I'm not recording videos and stuff. I've got tools running to help me play Raid so that I can get through the plethora of content on a daily basis, and I can kind of just ensure that I get the best out of my game and enjoy it as much as I can. So I'm going to run you through the optimizer, how you optimize your gear. That's one of the Hellheides tools. I'm going to run you through Bluestacks, what I use it for, and how you can use it to do referral accounts and get your own sacred shards in the bank. I'm going to run you through what I do with RSL Helper, which is a tool that Fatherstuff creates. Absolutely brilliant tool to help you with things like auto running of dungeons and also auto selling of crap. And then I'm also going to touch on Hellheides.com and Deadwood Jedi site, deadwoodjedi.com as well. So quite a lot to pack in. It's not going to be the deep dive of all of these, but it's going to be like a beginner's guide to them all. And then you can go and find my other videos where I go into a bit more detail if you choose to. Let's go. Okay, we're going to start with Bluestacks. Bluestacks for me is something I've used probably for the last 18 months. Before RSL Helper came along, Bluestacks, I kind of used it for most stuff to help me in the game. So I know it really well and I've used it a ton. We're now on a version Bluestacks 5, which doesn't need you to do a whole load of PC setup, a whole load of kind of like settings, changing a whole load of stuff in the BIOS, which people might have experienced in the past. Nowadays, it actually just runs and it's way more comfortable on the PC. I will still say Bluestacks compared to Player in Play eats a lot more of your kind of memory and RAM, and it just generally is a bit more intense. But you can do a bunch of stuff in it which just make your experience better. So if you're not running the other tools and Bluestacks is the one that you've got, this is a great one. I'll put a link down below where you can download Bluestacks. I do get like $1 if you download through my link. If you don't want to do that, you don't have to, but it still is a good tool to use. So let me talk you through some of the things that you can do. First one, and probably one of the biggest ones, I'm here on the free-to-play. I could, if I wanted to, and maybe I will, comment below, should I do this or not? How comfortable would you be if I do this, by the way? I could run my own referral links. And this is actually super easy to do if you're playing on Bluestacks. Okay, so in order to do this, then you go into your main account on Player in Play or on your phone or whatever, wherever you're playing it. You notice on my main account, I still don't have completed links. This is like an old Lockers account that he doesn't use anymore. I've got 2 freebies, which I couldn't get to work back in the day. I could go and do this now if I wanted to. So I could literally press get referral link and it will give me a link here. It will copy it to a clipboard. What I then need to do is go into Bluestacks. In Bluestacks on the right-hand side here, you see there's kind of like 3 boxes on top of each other. It's called Multi-Instance Manager. Or when you download Bluestacks, you should actually get a copy of the Multi-Instance Manager anyway as part of the download pack. You start up a new version of Bluestacks. So you can have multiple versions of Bluestacks on the same PC. So if you wanted to do all 3 referral programs, you could do this 3 times. You go into your system apps, go into Chrome, and then you type in or you copy paste in the link that you just got from your Raid account. What it'll do is it'll put this kind of long link in. You actually just need to come in and delete out all of the message at the front until you just get the internet link. Like this. Away we go. And it will actually take you now to a place where it will install Raid on your version of Bluestacks. It will install Raid on that new code or in that referral code. You then have to play through the tutorial and it will show up after you've played the tutorial on your main account as one of the linked accounts. Best way to then go about getting yourself those freebies, those free goodies, is actually just to run campaign to the highest level you can. So I would suggest put a tiny bit of time in, get a bit of gear on your starter champion, and then just farm campaign to the highest level you can. Once you've used your energy for the day, close it down, do the same tomorrow. it won't take you long actually to get to level 50 farming campaign on a day-to-day basis. Maximum like a month to get yourself 4 sacred shards and a whole load of books and void shards and stuff like that. So this is a really great way of using Bluestacks. Another thing you can do in Bluestacks, which is really good, is roll gear fast. So you can do this on RSL Helper, and I will show you that as well. But if you're using Bluestacks anyway, you can just go into an item. You can go into eco mode, which again is on the right-hand side here. It's like a little speedometer looking thing. And then you can just tab eco mode on or off. If you tab it on and change the eco FPS to 10, like I've just done there, and then upgrade that piece, you see the speed now of the rolls compared to what you would see normally. It probably saves you about 3 times the amount of time it normally takes for Raid to roll stuff. It's significant in terms of time saving. And then once you've done the rolling, you just turn it off again. Otherwise, the game will run laggy. And, you know, that's another thing you can do really well. One of the other things which I do or have done in the past as well is kind of created my own ways to run macros. So if you just want to run, you know, a stage of campaign, for example, you run it for the first time, and then you want to run a macro that just hits repeat basically over and over again. You can go into macros. So there's a kind of like almost like a play button looking symbol here, open macro manager, and then you can record your actions in the game. So what it's doing is it's recording your clicks, and all you need to do is just click the replay button and record yourself doing it. And then in the settings, you say, keep doing that until I tell you not to, and do it however, I've not set this up right now, but you can do it on intervals. So you could say, do it every 20 seconds, because that's how long my campaign runner lasts. Or you could say something like, do it every 20 seconds, but only repeat it 30 times, because that's how many times I need to do it on that level to to level up, say, a 3-star. And you can kind of work your way through some of that stuff. So I've got more detailed videos on this, but it's kind of like a bit of a refresher. Macros is actually a really positive way to use Bluestacks. And again, this is something which you can already do in RSL Helper, but you can even do a forge macro. So you could ask it to create a piece. So I've got an old macro here somewhere. I think this one, macro 2. So basically what this is going to do, hands off, it's going to find a piece and instantly sell it for me. So it finds a piece, mouse clicks are where I've clicked them on my macro setup. And basically, if I'm just trying to do like clan v clan, and it's all the level 3 to 4 stuff that you're just not going to keep, you can literally get it to, because it's following the clicks that I've done in game, just auto sell the crap. You come back after however long you want to do it for, and you've got yourself a bunch of silver, and you're not just watching that animation again and again and again. So Bluestacks, really good tool. As I said, I'll put the link for that down below. Let's move on. Okay, second thing we're going to talk about here, I'll touch on Hellheides.com quickly, and then we're going to talk about the optimizer. So Hellheides.com, you can find champion tier lists. If you use the optimizer, you can find a tier list specific to your account. You can find faction war tier lists in here. So faction war tier lists basically enable you to filter based on what you want to find. So if you're looking for, a really strong champion, let's do a filter here. I could say I want somebody who's a defense-based champion that has got good turn meter control, and maybe let's just filter on that. Oathbound, and you're like, great, what else can he do? And you can just kind of see the ratings against other areas that are important for faction wars. And again, you can just kind of hide ones that you own or not. So you either look at the whole list or you look at just stuff specific to your account, providing you're an optimizer user. There's also a whole bunch of stuff here, so you can just go into the factions and check them out. We've got stuff like guides on different areas of the game. Got some early Hydra stuff. We've got a load of Doom Tower stuff. So if you're just looking to improve your knowledge of the game and how to play it, then there's absolutely shed tons here. Articles go out basically every day. So anything that is happening in the game right now, you will find our take on it, our opinion of it. Should you do it? What's the best way to do it? Yeah, there's absolutely tons of stuff, and you can search in the articles to try and find something you want. So if you were looking for, I don't know, like a gear guide for example, you can literally go in and be like, right, what have they got on this? Okay, gear tier list here. Okay, great. And as I say, you can kind of go down and find what you want to find. There's also things like artifact tier lists, how to prep for fusions, etc. So you can just kind of have a good look around. But one of the big things, or some of the big tools that we've got here, we've got the raid stages tool, which is a really great tool. So you can go and find any content in Raid Shadow Legends. So if I wanted to find Doom Tower, Rotation 2, and say, right, I want to know the stats of the enemies on floor 30 hard. Who am I facing and what are their stats? This gives you all of that information. So it will tell you the speeds of the enemy. It will tell you how much resistance they've got, and therefore how much accuracy do I need to beat that resistance? And the reverse, how much accuracy have they got? How much resistance do I need in the yellow to overcome their accuracy? So it gives you a really good amount of information to be able to just build teams that can do the job properly. And this is especially good in things like dungeons where you're trying to work out, how much accuracy do I need to beat up certain dungeons at different levels. It also tells you the rewards that you can get from beating stuff. It'll also tell you stuff like the rewards for each thing. So if I'm on like Dragon 18, it's like, well, what sort of rewards are possible here? It tells you the percentage chance of different items to drop. So if you want to do your own recce on should I be farming stage 20 versus stage 24, for example, that's something that people ask quite a lot. You can just see what differences happen to the rewards as you go from different levels. So it's just a really fun tool. The other big tool here really is the optimizer, which is what we're going to go on to next. So you have to be a member of the site. We've got, by the way, 130,000 members. Not paid members, just members of the site. People that have got confidence in what we do on this site, which is incredible. It's like, it's been running for, what, 15 months or so, 14, 15 months. And it basically outperforms my YouTube channel now, which is crazy. So yeah, you can kind of come in and be a member. If you're a free member, you just get access to all these tools and stuff. If you support the website by signing up to be a paid member, firstly, we really appreciate that. We do have a full team. We've got full-time employees and part-time employees that do this work. It's not me doing everything. There's a whole bunch of people doing a load of work. If you're rare or above, you get entered into the monthly account takeover giveaway stuff. But if you're anything from uncommon and above, you get anything which needs premium membership. And there's not that much stuff there that is, but you'll get everything from this. So any more than that, it's really just you supporting the website even more, which we massively appreciate. So yeah, get into the membership stuff. Become a free member if you just want to try stuff out. And let's show you the optimizer. So you can download it here from this page, download the installer, and then you can just update it as we update. And we get the kind of changelog and stuff here. You will get this little icon. Once you've done it, just lost it again. You get this little icon up, and you just hit upload to website. As long as you've got your game running, as long as Raid Shadow Legends is running, you will then get this page, which gives you now like a snapshot of your account. So you can go into your champion list and it will tell you all of your champions. You could see how many dupes you've got of certain champions. So you could be like, right, where is it? Show only dupes. And it will show me all of the champions that I've got duplicates of. So if you're kind of planning around Faction Guardians, or if you're just unsure if you've got a second copy of someone, you can press there. You can see things like how many of my champions have got full masteries. A few of my guys in Discord were kind of looking through this recently. How many people have you done full masteries on? How many people have actually only got partial masteries and need to be finished off, as an example? How many people are fully ascended? Same type of stuff. How many people are fully booked? Damn. Here is some bookage going on this account. Yeah, and all that type of stuff. So you can kind of just go in there and kind of find things. You can also do this cool search here. People ask for this quite a lot, actually. Who of my team does, I don't know, an HP burn, for example. So I can look down here, find the right skill. HP burn. And then it'd be like, right, these are the different champions that I've got that do HP burn debuff. So if you're looking for a specific skill, then you can actually find it in the optimizer pretty damn quickly. You could also be like, well, I need to do secret room, so I need a rare champion who is, I don't know, like void affinity, and is health based, HP based. And it'd be like, right, these are my options. So again, for secret room stuff, there's actually quite a lot of stuff you can do there. Now the big kind of reveal on this stuff though is more about artifacts and gearing. So if you're a premium member, you get this artifact rating system. We're always trying to update it so that it's as good as it can be. But basically, you can go into the top right area here, account settings, and tell it what sort of account you are, early game through to end game. That will change the gear rating that I've just shown you. So if you're trying to gear someone, and this will change, but we basically rate between in the bin, see it here, in the bin, extremely bad piece, up to godlike. It doesn't mean you should sell everything which is below strong. I've still got items here that are rated weak, and it might be that they should just be gone by now, but also it might be that the rating system has not really got to the grips of what I need that piece for. So just be aware, it's always a work in progress, but we try and make it as good as we can, basically, and we're working on it all the time. You can then go into so in here there's a load of filters. You can kind of play around, again, filtering out different type of pieces if you just want to find your fastest pieces that you own. So you can go by speed in the substats here, and then you can just order by speed. Yeah, so it will just show you your best rolls that you've got in that particular thing. We wish it would do this in the game, honestly, but this is how you can do it in the optimizer. You can also press here, ignore glyphs while sorting, and then it will pretend that glyphs aren't on. So if you want to find your best true speed pieces, assuming no glyphs are around, then you can do it in that way. And this will give you a kind of feel for stuff in your account. If you then go into optimize, we kind of got this main page for optimizing for gear. The GPU optimizer is way stronger than the brute force. Brute force is becoming a little bit obsolete, but if you don't have a GPU to assist, then the brute force can help you. You can do stuff like change the masteries that you've already got on a champion here if you want to kind of do almost like a theory craft build without having to pay gems in game to change. You can include items that are equipped, or you can include items that are locked. You can lock champions on this little padlock here and back on the champion page. And then from here, you can kind of go in and it'd be like, right, this is the battle. So what buffs am I going to have on? What type of defense am I up against? What do I want to do? Do I want to optimize for balance, which is basically just like running a stat high, like speed or accuracy? Do I want to optimize for damage? Or do I want to optimize for survivability? And you kind of choose what you want to do. And then you can choose which steel if it's going to be for damage. And then you go into the stats and basically select what you want to do. Once you've done that, got it into a good place, you can say, don't change my amulet because that's one I particularly want to keep on him. So don't re-optimize that, please, game optimizer. You can say, oh, by the way, I only want to run savage gear. Stop trying to give me other stuff. Bear in mind, though, the optimizer knows about damage. So if you've got savage gear, you don't have to tell it, I want savage gear. It will find it if it's stronger than your normal gear. Okay, so you don't need to do that. But if you're particularly want, I don't know, like a shield set or something like that, then that's when you would do sets. And same sort of thing with artifact slots. You can also say in glyphs here, you can say, assume that I'm going to glyph up, my attack percent every time I see it by 4, and my speed every time I see it by 4. That way it might find pieces that are not yet glyphed and need to be glyphed. What you'll then do, hit the optimize, hit start, and it will start trawling through your gear. And it will start trying to find your strongest gear that you own. And you see here, pretty damn quick, really. Like within a few seconds, it will kick out a build. If it's not kicking out a build, you've probably done something a bit wafty. And then you can find in-game where those pieces currently sit and go and equip them yourself in-game. What we'll also do, if you've got the premium membership here, this gives you the stats that you'll find. But if you click on skills tab on the left, and you see here at the moment, this is the current damage number that these skills do in your current build. If you just hover over the different builds, you can see how much extra damage this build would do for you. If you were not looking for a damage build, but you're actually looking for like a survivability build, on the artifacts page, you've got the EHP number bottom right. Again, you can hover over and it will tell you if that build is going to give you more survivability or less based on what you're trying to do. So I guess the other thing to call out here, because it's so massive, is the team optimizer, which is freaking awesome, by the way. So if you are looking to improve a dungeon, so let's say I want to improve my Ice Golem team. I can click on Ice Golem here, click the stage that I want to beat, and I can actually go in Suggest Team. And what it will do is it will ping teams that are available to build based on the champions I own. Now, you might say, yeah, but I don't want to build, I don't want to level any more champions out. So I only choose my champions that are 6-star and ascended already. Don't choose any champions that I've locked, etc. So you can kind of choose what you want. You can also say, up my success rate of a team that I want to pick to at least 97%. And I want for the team that I find to have had at least 10 battles worth of data so that I know that it's consistent. I hit apply filter and it will change up the teams that I'm going to see. Okay, I can then say, what do I want? So do I want it based on consistency, therefore number of battles? Do I want it based on win rate, so 100% win rates at the top? Or do I want it to be the fastest? So this one at the top now is like the fastest team that I can find, and it will show me the team setup. If I then hit view variations, this is as far as a free-to-play user would get, but you'd see the speeds and the champions of all the teams and all of the stats. And then a paid user, anyone who's kind of that uncommon or above member, would be able to go into this full team page and see literally a full breakdown of the sets that these champions are wearing, if they've got any fancy items in terms of accessories, the masteries they're running, the stats they are running, everything, whether the champions are booked or not. And if you do show all for AI configuration, it will also show if any of the rounds have got a specific skill selected to be used. So you can see here for this Kaimar, for round 1, it's saying to use his Abyssal Gaze first. And it does this for all of the champions. So it is actually a freaking amazing tool. It is obscenely strong at trying to help people build out their dungeon teams and stuff. So look, I'm not going to go on to the optimizer anymore. I've done full-length videos on this stuff. This is more like the whistle-stop tour, but that is the raid optimizer. Let's move on to Deadwood Jedi's tool. So you can actually go into, I'll just type it in here, deadwoodjedi.com. Brilliant tool here as well. So Deadwood Jedi has got a website which can give you a ton of speed tunes for clan boss. You can come in here and you'd be like, I really want to find an unkillable team that I've got. So you can look at unkillable and you can kind of just scroll down the list. Or you could say, I really want to find a team based around my new champion, Krisk. And it'd be like, right, here's some different opportunities of building teams. That's cool. Once you've found one that you want, you can then view it in his kind of the speed calculator that he runs, clan boss calculator. You can view it in the type of level that you're going to fight, so let's say Ultra Nightmare, and it will give you this kind of breakdown of what's going to happen with your champion's abilities based on the speeds that you're running. So it will show you when they're going to use different skills, and it will show you how the champions are interacting. So by turn, how are things working? Now, what's quite interesting here is you can kind of get a gauge of, right, this is the one that was pre-built. What if I change something based on what I'm doing? So let's say my Razin is already built faster. How fast does it need to be before it starts changing things? And this is really important to know because you might get to a point where it totally runs out of sync if you go too fast with someone. See the way this is all changing? And that's important to be aware of because you might actually completely ruin a whole speed tune by having one person too fast or too slow. So this is a really great tool. Again, I'm not going into full detail here. I have done full detail on videos before, and it's well worth coming and checking out this, or going and find Deadwood Jedi and his Discord and finding out more about the clan boss calculator. But if you're looking to build, I'd say Nightmare and above, teams, this is almost like a must-use tool for raid. Right then, last thing I'm going to talk about in this video is the RSL helper. One of the fundamental tools of the game if you play on PC for me. Farbersoft does an awesome job on this. Look, he doesn't charge for any level of using RSL helper, and hats off to the dude, honestly. Like, he puts in a ton of work for this, and it's an amazing tool. So there is a donate button. If you're able to, do support the dude. Yeah, do support the dude. Same with Deadwood, honestly, but I do feel like Farbersoft sells himself a little bit short in terms of some of this. In fact, I feel like personally he should put some of these things as a premium member thing so that he gets rewarded for all the work he does. But that's my view. Anyway, what's going on with this? It can be a fancy auto clicker. So a bit like what we said with Bluestacks, it can do it, but in a much stronger way. So there's a few things to be aware of in it. Settings. I didn't go into settings for so long. And it wasn't until I was doing the Krisk event that I even realized some of the stuff you can do here. So you can actually change things like the wait time after a fight, bring it down so that it actually performs quicker stuff for you. You can do things like the wait time between selling. So I pulled all of these down to a much quicker time frame because my PC can handle it when I was doing the Krisk event. So you can kind of just see here, how quick do we want to do a refill? If you try and do it too quick, it actually might skip. And if it skips, then it's actually overall slower. So be a bit careful of it. But generally, you can kind of play around with some of this stuff. So for the auto clicker, let's start with the real basics. When I'm trying to do any content, if I want to run Fire Night, for example, I get myself set up with my team. I then bring up RSL helper, and I'll be like, right, I can look here. How much energy do I want to use? So it's 20 energy per run. So I can actually say, let's say I want to run 10 runs, 200 energy. I could just be like, bam, I want to run 10 runs. Okay, and I hit the play button. If you've got auto detection set, then it will basically keep you at 60 FPS. Or you can run it at unlimited frames and just run quicker. Again, depends how well your PC deals with these things. So that's quite an easy one to do. You could also tell it, don't do 10 runs, use all of my energy. So I could say, run effective resources. And basically what that will do is it will run through all of my energy in full. You could say run infinitely, and then it will just keep going until whenever. And you can also tell it to shut down when it's done. So it will shut down both raid and this tool. That's all cool. So I often will run effective resources, go away, make some lunch, come back and see what I've got. Now, it gets better when you can actually start to tell it what things to sell. So yeah, so you can basically tell it what to do with sets as well. You can say that this is my rule. So if I've got any, let's say all sets, anything less than 6-star, I just want you to sell it. I don't even want to look at it on my account. I could also be like, I could exclude speed sets from that if I wanted to, for example. Or I could say with speed sets, if it is 6-star, I want, and it rolls a speed substat, then I want to set this one up as a keep, add rule. Yeah, so you can kind of play around with the rule testing. I actually deleted all of my rules recently, and I need to go back in and sort them out. But I'm pretty sure you can share a setup and send it to someone else as well, which is actually really cool. And you can kind of go over here and almost like put in what you've said and do a test. So it could be like, if I've got a weapon that is rank 5, epic, and it rolls speed, let me just have a sell check, and it kind of looks at what your rules are, and it says, actually, I found a rule here that says, no, I should sell that. Yeah. So you might be like, oh, okay, that's not what I was hoping would happen. I need to amend one of my rules over here. But basically, once you've got it set up how you want it, you can then get it to sell crap gear for you as you go. Another thing that people use this for is tracking their shards. So basically, if you've got this up and running whilst you do shard pulls, let me just show you quick. So if I pull one ancient shard, let me show you it beforehand. So I'm on 18 shards, 14 here. So if I do one summon, a rare pops out, and it goes up to 19 and 15. So as long as you're running the game whilst you do a shard pull, it just counts how many shards you've pulled. Okay, and that can help people if they're trying to track towards things like mercy systems, and you know, when should they pull during a 10 times or like a big event or something like that. So I don't always have RSL up while I'm doing shard pulls, so mine's completely out of track. But some people do this almost like religiously. You can also do things like track events. You can kind of add your chest for the last few days in Clan Boss if you want to kind of get a gauge of, are you hitting some of the good stuff or not. You can kind of throw a pack in and it'll give you almost like a calculator for whether it thinks it's good or not. So there's a whole bunch of stuff you can do, but I don't use it for some of these other things. I pretty much mainly use it as an auto clicker and an auto seller, and an auto forge mechanic. So look, Faberstoff, absolutely brilliant tool. There you go, guys. Hopefully there's some stuff that you've learned in there that you can use, and yeah, make your playing experience more enjoyable. I will link a bunch of this stuff down below. I've been Hellheides. I will see you later.